guys, Aaron Jarley here for Forever Football, DRFC, your Doncaster Rovers fan channel. It's a DRFC Daily Reports today. We're going to be bringing you some very interesting stories today. Two massive stories today. We've got an announcement date for our brand new manager who has been decided. We have some reports coming in about who that could be. And also we're going to be looking at our official retained and released list of players. So before we get started, guys, please like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell so you never miss a YouTube video. And for now, let's have a look at exactly what's going on in the world of Donny Rovers today. So let's start off with our manager situation. We do have an announcement date of Monday, and the Free Press understands after the final stage of interviews on the Thursday, the Rovers board have reached a unanimous decision on their preferred candidate and offered the job to that individual. The talks commenced over finer details on Thursday evening and are set to continue over the weekend, so tomorrow and Sunday, including matters such as the identity of the new man's assistant. These conversations are understood to be very positive with no issues expected, and the new manager will be officially unveiled on Monday, likely alongside the assistant, with a full press conference planned for the next Friday. Now we do have a couple of separate news articles linking to this situation. Now both The Sun and FootballInsider247.com, or just Football Insider, they're both reporting that Richie Wellens is the man that's going to be announced as the brand new manager. Now, of course, we can't confirm that at this stage, but obviously The Sun, some people can say The Sun aren't trusted. I don't think they're very 50-50 at all. I don't think they're the most trusted of sources sometimes, but we see Football Insider, the Yorkshire Post potentially. Yorkshire Post reports that there's going to be an announcement on Monday. Free Press have reported an announcement on Monday. Football Insider and The Sun are reporting Richie Wellens, and the sack race as well, and other sources are reporting that Richie Wellens is the candidate. Now, of course, from the we're not going to use The Sun's statement, but from Football Insider, their sources say that Wellens agrees to become new Doncaster manager. Now, apparently, Football Insider understands that Richie Wellens has agreed a deal to become the new Doncaster Rovers manager. We don't know that for sure yet, but this is what has been reported by Football Insider alongside many other sources. Now, the source have told Football Insider the club have offered Wellens the post, and his agreement in principle has been reached. Now, it's understood Rovers have picked the 41-year-old ahead of several other candidates. The former Oldham boss is set to put pen to paper on a deal ahead of an imminent announcement, which will be on the Monday. Now, Wellens, of course, has been out of work since leaving Salford City by mutual consent in March. His departure came despite victory in the delayed EFL Trophy final. Of course, that victory against League One Portsmouth, the league boss. So, Richie Wellens did turn around Salford City and did turn around Swindon to an extent, and did a good job there. The Man United youth graduate kicks off his managerial career at Oldham back in 2017. He replaced John Sheridan initially on an interim basis, but was dismissed after the club's relegation to League Two. Now, Wellens took charge of Swindon and helped the Robins secure the League Two title on points per game last season, and he left Swindon to take charge of Salford and won 12 in 30 games during his time at Salford Stadium. His exit came just after a week after his side beat Portsmouth on penalties in that EFL Trophy final on that Wembley day. He's set to join a Doncaster Rovers side who finished 14th this term in League One. Butler taking over as interim boss following Moore's exit, but suffered 11 defeats in 18 games during the spell in charge. So obviously, I think his career at Oldham and Salford and Swindon, I think he's had an alright career so far in terms of managing. However, if this is confirmed to be Richie Wellens, obviously this is just Football Insider and The Sun reporting this alongside many other sources. We can't confirm that at this stage. We did see some other stuff on social media, like Richie Wellens was liking people's comments about, him as, coming back as manager, and, people were always like comments, linking to the job, so maybe that means Wellens has pretty much confirmed himself that he's the manager. We don't confirm that to be done yet. Obviously, we'll get the announcement on Monday. I might be at Alton Towers on Monday, depending on what's happening with restrictions today. So, depending what happens, I might be at Alton Towers on Monday. So, you might have to wait until the Monday evening before you get a video from me on the situation. But, am I a fan of Richie Wellens? You know what? Yes. You know what? And the reason why I'm a fan of Richie Wellens is because I feel like with Coppinger in the advisory role, I think with Richie Wellens to come in as manager, I think that Andy Butler as part of the centre-backs and the playing squad as well as the Bells manager, I feel like there's a lot more Donny DNA within this side. I'm going to see more of a Doncaster Rovers squad, more of a permanent squad in my opinion. So, and with Graham Younger, the man that helped Cardiff get to the Premier League a few years ago, heading up our talent identification and recruiting players for the first team and the youth, etc. So, I think that with Younger recruiting talent and with Butler playing in the squad and as Bell's manager, Wellens potentially as the manager here for the first team and Coppinger in an advisory role, I think that we are looking forward to a bright, exciting future. And now in terms of bright, exciting future, we do move into our second story, which is the retained and release list that has been submitted to the English Football League. So we've got all the details via a statement from the club's website. And it says here, talks are ongoing with Reece James, Jason Lakilo and Lyric Hassani, very good indeed, while Danny Amos, Maja Gomez and Ian Lawler are set to leave the club when their contracts expire next month. The club have exercised an option of promising young defender Ben Blythe with further details of the centre-backs deal to be confirmed in due course, so potentially an extra year there for Ben Blythe. An agreement was unable to be reached with defensive duo Brad Halliday and Joe Wright before the initial deadline was both formally released. Halliday is back in discussions with the club, with the final decision set to be taken by the incoming manager, which could be Wellens, could be Robinson, could be anyone. So, they also said, following confirmation that the injury picked up by centre-back Joe Wright in the final game of the season will see him ruled out for first-team action for much of the upcoming season, the club will be supporting and facilitating the 26-year-old recovery and rehab, and talks continue with the players' representatives. So, I'll tell you something now, even if we don't reach a deal with Joe Wright for a new deal, I like how we're still helping him through his rehabilitation. He's still technically part of the squad in terms of rehabilitating for the rest of the next season. So it's great that we've sort of held out our hand and helped him there, with getting him back to full fitness over much of the next season, since he's out with this injury. So it's going to be it's very nice to see the club doing that for a player that's not even signed a new deal yet. The lone players, Matt Smith, Taylor Richards, Tyrese John Jules, Josh Sims, Ellery Balcom, Scott Robertson and Elliot Simoes have all returned to their parent clubs. Everyone at the club would like to thank all players departing this summer for their efforts and commitment during their time at Rovers and wish them the best for their future careers. So, just to put it in short, all the loanees have gone back. Joe Wright was unable to reach a deal. Halliday's unable to reach a deal, but they're back in discussions with the club, with the final decision which will be taken by the manager. So the manager will have the final say on whether Halliday signs a new deal or not. Or sort of like a free transfer in a way. Ben Blythe looks like he's getting an extra year with that clause in his contract. James, Lakilo and Hassani still 50-50, but Amos, Gomez and Lawler have all gone. So, I mean, first of all, the loanees, obviously it's been very 50-50 with some of them. But they're all exciting young talents in their own way. Josh Sims, I'm sure he'll find a club. Matt Smith, I'm sure he'll grow and grow, and eventually he may be first team ready for Pep Guardiola. I mean, Scott Robertson, I'm sure he's going to be at Celtic. Elliot Simoes, I'm sure he'll want to get a move somewhere else, or maybe he'll try and fight for his place at Barnsley, whether that's as a Championship club or if Barnsley's going to be in the Premier League or not. Balcom, of course, whether Brentford's in the Premier League or not, I'm sure he will try and fight for his first team place there with that new 5-year deal that he signed when he came on loan to us at first, so that should be interesting there. Taylor Richards, we knew he went back anyway to Brighton. I think he's out of contract in the summer, as is Tyrese John Jules at Arsenal. So I think Taylor Richards, if you're sort of wanting my predictions as to where I think they'll go, I think Taylor Richards will go to Sheffield Wednesday, in my opinion. Tyrese John Jules, I'm not too sure. I'd love to get him on a permanent free transfer if he's being let go by Arsenal, if his contract runs out in the summer. Because I think he was really good. And, good luck to all the loanees. Massive good luck to all of you. Obviously, it's great that we're trying to negotiate with Hassani, with Lakilo, Reece James. That's amazing to see that we're negotiating with Reece James. You see all the links with Sheffield Wednesday, and people are like, oh no, he's our player of the season. He's going to go to a Championship club. He could be staying. That's amazing. obviously Ben Blythe, extra year, great. Now the not so good news. Obviously Wright injured for most of next season, which is an awful shame. My best wishes goes to Joe Wright. Brad Halliday, negotiations not reached, and it'd be interesting to see whether we do, discuss with him and sign him back up on a free transfer in the summer. And then the three departing: Ian Lawler, Madge Gomez and Danny Amos. Danny Amos, it was a shame with that one because I thought Danny, he could have been given more first team football if Reece James did walk. And it was him and Horton fighting for the left back position, but I guess it's just one of those things really. Hopefully Amos can get first team football elsewhere. Madge Gomez, again, I think when we signed him 2 years ago, he looked like a nice prospect, former Leeds player, played in Europe with the Croatian Premiership. And, maybe, we were looking at someone who could have been great, but unfortunately it just didn't really kick on this season. It was sort of starting well, had the injury, then just slipped back into what we saw the previous season, which was quite, inconsistent performances. So, unfortunately, just wasn't meant to be for Madge Gomez. And Ian Lawler, loaned out to Oldham the previous season. I spoke to him before the match against Peterborough on the Sunday when I was at the stadium. And, he said to me he was looking forward to pre-season, but unfortunately it's not with Doncaster Rovers. So it's real shame with Ian as well, and I think he could have been great. So commiserations to Ian, to Madge, to Danny, and good luck in your future endeavours. But there we go. I mean, it all starts to link up now, doesn't it? If Richie Wellens is going to be manager, we see these player clear-outs. Halliday's final decision rests on the manager. I'm pretty sure Joe Wright's final decision on the contract rests on the manager as well, whoever that may be. We saw in that article back from the Free Press on the new manager situation, announcement on Monday. They're tying up some details over this weekend, like the assistant manager. People saying, James Beattie's part of this Omnisports that Graham Young is a part of. Will it be James Beattie? If you want my honest opinion, I think they'll just go with the number 2, the assistant he had at Swindon Town, which was Noel Hunt. So, I mean, that's just my prediction anyway. I think that's probably the most realistic prediction to go with for an assistant manager, but we don't know that for sure yet. But it should be interesting. It should be really interesting. But there we go, guys. Thank you very much for watching this video. Stay tuned for my FA Cup final preview and my playoffs preview. It's going to be uploaded today. So stay tuned for all of that, guys. But for now, thank you very much. My name is Aaron Chandler from Forever Football, DRFC. Keep living the Rovers life. And that, my friends, full time. Rovers till I die. Thank you very much. Rovers till I die.